happen to them.
Show me where it says, I command them to do this. He says, no, this is what's going to happen because you rejected. But unlike your Quran, where your God does command such things. So you just buried your God.
It doesn't command.
Yes, he does.
To do this.
Yes, he does. The Quran says, and the Hadith say, Allah wrote the amount of adultery you must commit and you cannot escape it because Allah commands, written that you will commit adultery.
Excuse me?
Your Hadith, Bukhari and Muslim, say that Allah has predestined, written, all the adultery you must commit and you cannot escape it because you must do it because Allah decreed you must do it. Let me get you the Hadith.
You got to be.
What am I kidding? Okay, let's see if I'm kidding. I'm going to give you the Hadith. I'm going to let you read it with your own eyes. Sahih Bukhari, volume 8, number 609. I'm going to give you the link.
No, man.
No, read it. Don't go. No, don't run yet.
Don't say anymore.
Don't run yet. Read this at least before you go.
I read it Ibn Abbas. I did not see anything so resembling minor sins as what
Go ahead.
Abu Hurairah said from the Prophet who said, Allah has written for the son of Adam.
Slowly read it. Slowly. Allah has written for...
Nah, buddy, watch out.
Read it. Read it. Is inevitable.
Adam committed the sin in the garden.
Finish it.
And then he knows.
Finish it. I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to embarrass you because you got scared. You didn't finish it. Read.
We are punished on this earth.
Read the Hadith. You coward. Okay, you stupid coward. Now I'm going to disrespect you because you're a coward. Read.
Are you cursing me?
Yes, because you are not a man. You're not reading it. Read, Jihad. Read.
But I am trying to explain to you.
Don't explain. Read, or I'm going to read it and I'm going to hang up on you. Okay, shut up. Get out of here. Get out of here, buddy.
So of course there's going to be sin.
Okay, read what it says. It didn't say that, you liar. Read it, or I'm going to hang up on you. You got 5 seconds.
Allah has written for the son of Adam his inevitable share of adultery, whether he is aware of it or not. The adultery of the eye is looking at something which is sinful to look at, and the adultery of the tongue is to utter what is unlawful to utter. And the inner self wishes and longs for adultery, and the private parts turn that into reality, or refrain from submitting to the temptation.
Now read this from Sahih Muslim. Same thing. Here it is.
Okay, but that just basically means that we're.
No, it doesn't mean that. Read it. Read the Hadith before you give me your explanation. Read now Sahih Muslim.
What are you cursing me for?
I didn't. I said you're being a stupid liar if you don't read. Now you read it, so now you're a man of integrity. Finish it. So you're doing it again. You're delaying reading it. Read it. And what's the name of the book? The Book of Destiny, Predestination. Can you read it or you want me to read it?
But you have to understand the context.
Okay, can you read it? But you haven't even read it to know the context. Read it.
Abu Hurairah reported Allah's apostle, may peace be upon him, as saying, verily Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in.
And which he of necessity must commit. There you go, buddy. Your God has fixed the adultery you must commit, and you must necessarily commit it, and you can't escape it. That's your God.
Well, what you got to understand here is that it's referring to the adultery of the eye.
Finish it. It's not just the eye. Allah predestined that you're going to commit adultery with your eye.
Allah look at women.
Okay. Allah predestined that you're going to commit adultery with your tongue. And Allah predestined. Don't talk over me, you coward, because now you're scared. Because it says Allah also predestined the adultery you do with your parts. You see it right there?
Adultery is a sin.
And Allah has commanded you to commit that sin because He's wicked.
But what you can control...
You can't control anything if Allah has decreed that you will commit adultery. Don't tell me you can control what Allah has predestined you for. So what was that about my Bible? Your God is in the business of making you adulterers.
Man has a choice whether he's going to cheat on his wife or not.
No, not according to this. It said Allah has fixed and you must necessarily commit it.
It doesn't say that.
Okay, let me read it again. Hold on, so that everyone can see again, so you're ashamed of Allah. Abu Hurairah reported Allah's apostle as saying, verily Allah has fixed.
You're not interpreting it correctly. Why do you think that Allah is essentially forcing people to commit adultery?
Because let me read the text again. Here, let me tell you why I think. Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in and which he of necessity must commit. That's why.
The adultery of the eye is the lustful look, and the adultery of the tongue is the
licentious speech.
The heart desires and yearns, which the parts may or may not put into effect.
So exactly. Allah has even fixed whether you're going to use your parts. Allah has fixed even whether you're going to use your parts to act on the adultery or not.
Exactly.
Okay. So jihad. So if Allah has fixed that you're going to use your private part to commit adultery, that means he made you commit adultery. You're okay with that?
Well, isn't it Jesus the one who says who looks at a woman is adultery?
That's why Jesus condemned your God as Satan. Exactly. Jesus says if you lust for a woman, you commit adultery. That means all of the Quran is not the God revealed in Jesus. All of the Quran is
so
Satan.
Listen to this. Listen to this. When you say that Allah will force us to commit adultery with our sight, that is
not only your sight. It doesn't just say sight.
It just says may or may not with the private part.
Okay, so if Allah has determined that you will use your private part to then commit adultery, can you escape it? This is your final point. I'm going to hang up on
it. Free will that people
there is no free will. Stop lying. That doesn't exist in Islam. There is no free will in Islam. Call me next time. We'll talk about predestination.
You're not accepting my answer. I'm telling
because you don't know Islam. Bring your shields. Because I have written on the topic, Quran and Hadith teach predestination. Do you want me now to turn that? We can talk about predestination, and it's going to be embarrassing.
You know what? I want to have the next discussion about predestination.
Okay, Lord willing, this week. Call me. We'll talk about predestination.
I'm gonna be prepared for